Nighttime. Daytime. Nighttime. Daytime. Nighttime. Daytime.
What are you doing?
Having a game of nighttime, daytime. You want to play?
I don't know why, but I don't seem to have a lot of luck with women. I mean, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm... No, it's a mystery, that.
Alan! 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 Al! Alan!
She's all neck and legs. Look at her.
Oh, I am looking at her.
Stop looking at her.
You just told me to look at her.
Ow!
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 Ow! That's right, me throat, that. John, I don't think we're allowed to wee here.
It's fine. Just keep a lookout.
What was that?
That was me zip.
Whoa! Where did all these come from? You know me, lads. I can't wee with an audience. Alan! 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 Alan!
Go. You should definitely take anthropology because Mr. Eisman's the teacher and he's so funny and so sarcastic and so nice and really cares about his students. And you get to have a lot of group discussions and play a lot of fun games, and he might even take you on a field trip.
You should definitely take anthropology because it's a really interesting class and you learn about things you never really thought about. And Mr. Eisman wore an awesome fedora today.
Yeah, it was awesome. And if you don't like Mr. Eisman, then you should reevaluate your life.
The class is great because Eisman's like a really good teacher and he explains himself all the time. And he teaches about evolution, like from primate to how we are now, and religion also, and like about Eastern and Western religion. It's pretty awesome.
It's like a really hands-on class, and it's really never boring, and there's always something to talk about, and there's always something new to do.
What makes Eisman great is that he always makes class really interesting, and he's really funny. There's never a boring moment. It's just a really great class.
Oh, what makes Eisman great is also he tries to make everything interesting, and you also get to watch Apocalypto, so that's a fun movie, and he's fun.
It's like really awesome.
You get to watch fun movies, and you get to play games a lot, and he just makes everything interesting.
He's a great teacher. He knows a lot about everything. Like he's really smart and always interesting.
Well, sir, it's Agent Hubbard, FBI. And what I propose is that you let these people go, and I'll take their place. I'm going to take your silence to mean that you're considering my offer.
Oh. Oh, God.
London, Belfast, Beirut. We're not the first city to have to deal with terrorism. This is New York City. We can take it.
Global Studies is awesome because Mr. Hunt is a fantastic teacher. He's very laid back and relaxed. Yeah.
In the class, you learn to talk about current things going on around the world in the U.S. This year we talked about the presidential election and talked about all sorts of things going on in the world.
It's not that much work. We do current events every Friday. We watch vocabulary and we do a lot of group projects in class. It's not a lot of work outside. Maybe homework once in a while, but not that much. It's a good class to take. You should all sign up.
What I love about the class is that we learn about current events going on in the world and the nation.
You learn very valuable stuff in the class. You learn how to be a global citizen, how to be a proper citizen in the United States, and about current events today.
Well, I have Mr. Hunt, and he's a really cool guy. He's really chill. We watch movies in his class, and he just lets us hang out, and we do the work, but it's fun.
I have Mrs. McLeod. She's a doll. She's really cute. She teaches us how to be a global citizen. She gets the class going. We have debates where people really get into it. So she's really nice, and she helps us expand our horizons. And
we learn stuff about what's happening right now. We learned about the presidential debate. So I don't really like politics, so he kind of grabbed my attention with that, and he made me learn more about the debate. Go Barack Obama.
You have like she said, you kind of had a live debate, so he really gets the class involved. Even Miss McLeod, she does that too, so it's a lot of fun.
You should definitely just take the class because it's just an awesome class with an awesome teacher, and it's just so much fun.
You get to share your opinions like you don't do in any other class. So if you want to get your voice heard, take the class.
Take Global Studies.
Global Studies! Woo!
Remove your helmet and tell me your name.
My name is Gladiator. Honor to a murdered son.
I took Western Civ because I love Mr. Redmond and he's an amazing teacher, and I really expected the class to be boring, but after a while I realized that it's really interesting and it's preparing me a lot for college.
Alright, Honors Western Civ is a great class because it's taught by Mr. Redmond, who is an incredible teacher, and he's the only teacher at Manalapan High School who's a gladiator.
And it's a really good class to take because you learn about really fun things like Roman gods and Greek gods, and you get to learn about gladiators and all that fun stuff.
You have a few projects during the year, but mostly you just sit there, there's no notes, occasionally gives you reviews for the test. Pretty easy class.
Definitely take it.
The class is really interesting, it's a lot of fun, you learn a lot of new things.
And you watch a lot of movies.
Okay, Mr. Redmond is the coolest guy in school. He has a nice beard, he has nice hair, he plays with his hair a lot.
He's really a fun teacher, like he likes to get the class involved. He teaches us like not only just through the textbook, so we learn like a lot of hands-on things.
Take the class because it looks like Hercules.
Bring the action.
When we up in the club, all eyes on us. All eyes on us. All eyes on us.
I love peer leadership because you really get to express yourself and meet a whole bunch of new people you never think you'd talk to.
Demi, what types of projects do you do in peer leadership?
We do a lot of group projects, so it makes it a whole bunch of more fun. Because you get to interact with other people, and it's an awesome class.
I like peer leadership because, well, one, the teachers are awesome. Sullivan and Fleming are like literally the coolest guys I've ever met. Like they're probably my favorite teachers in the entire school. Like you learn so much from them. Like whenever like you have something like when you talk about, like they're always there for you. And like when we do our peer leadership, like if you really knew me speeches, like they always have something to say. And like they always have like a positive outlook on it. Like they always just give really good advice.
Mr. Sullivan is honestly one of the most amazing teachers in the school. You can tell that he loves his job and he's so good at doing it. Every single time that we finish our speech, he had like the most best advice I've ever heard, and he helps us out whenever we need to. He's such a great teacher. He's so funny.
We took peer leadership. It's honestly the best elective to take. You get a bunch of your community service hours done.
And the teachers are absolutely amazing. You get to get really involved in everything, and it looks really good on college applications to see that you were involved in peer leadership.
You should take peer leadership because Mr. Fleming and Mr. Sullivan are the teachers, and they're both really down-to-earth teachers, and they really know how to connect with their students.
You should take peer leadership because you don't get any homework, and all the things you do in class are all class discussions, and you really get to bond with your grade.
Yeah, as a senior class, you really want to get closer to your grade, and peer leadership does that for you. It's so much fun. You get to learn about everyone. I would definitely take it if I was a senior.
Take it.
Peer leadership is great because it's more than just a class. You go beyond the classroom, you help out, you volunteer, and you get to do more than anything else in any other class.
I took peer leadership because at first I didn't really think that much into it, but you literally once you get into the class, it's beyond what you expect. The feeling of helping people out is just incredible, and you can't even describe it. I'm sure everybody feels the same way, right? It's it's just to help people and to be with your friends in the same class. I mean, that's kind of it's kind of that's not really the point, but it's just overall an amazing class. You bond with people you never thought you were gonna bond with, and the teacher, you're on more of a personal level with the teacher, Mr. Sullivan. We know things about him that most people don't, and it's just such a great feeling to know that you can have somebody to go to and talk to. You could even talk to your entire class. you'll probably never get that type of
we have a group
opportunity
bond. We all
or opportunity again to like
Yeah.
literally open up to such a big group of people and like you know you can trust them. Like
in peer leadership, you get to be a role model for younger grades and for other people. You get to help younger grades like with social things and help them in Mix It Up Day and different social events.
You create the world of the dream. We bring the subject into that dream, and they fill it with their subconscious.
How could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange. Let me ask you a question. You never really remember the beginning of a dream, do you? You always wind up right in the middle of what's going on.
I guess, yeah.
So how did we end up here?
Well, we just came from the,
Think about it, Ariadne. How did you get here? Where are you right now?
We're dreaming?
You're actually in the middle of the workshop right now, sleeping. This is your first lesson in shared dreaming. Stay calm.
Alright, so we're talking about AP Psychology, and to be honest, that was my favorite class of my entire high school experience because I have a really big interest in psychology and how the mind works and stuff, and the things you learn in that class is so interesting. You literally walk out of that class every single day wow, that is so cool that I just learned that. Especially certain topics, you learn about what makes a serial killer who they are, and you learn about what makes people do certain things, how they react, and it just makes you learn more about yourself and you understand more about yourself and why you do such things. So, and it's actually making me change my major. I was originally going for business and now I'm going for psychology, so it literally changed my life.
Look at that.
Mr. Hannon is the best because he has a story that relates to everything. He's gone through anything you could ever imagine in his life. Pretty much.
He's literally if you talk about a certain thing, he'll be like, oh yeah, I did that once, and you're like, what? He's awesome.
The class, it's he gives a lot of extra credit, and it's not easy. It's definitely a challenging class, but if you do your work, and he makes it easy for you to get a good grade if you do what you're supposed to do. So it's not hard, but it is hard at the same time. But definitely there's a good grade if you participate and you get everything done. You're probably gonna look at a good grade.
Take AP Psych, go!
Nice fun.
I took AP Psychology my junior year, and it was by far one of my favorite classes I took throughout my high school career. And Mr. Hannon's the coolest guy in the world. We learned about the human mind and all these other cool things that he has stories for, and it's amazing. It's a good class.
You should definitely take AP Psychology as a course because it's really interesting and you get to learn why we do things the way that we do.
I would definitely take AP Psychology because you get to learn about the human mind, learn about different disorders, watch great movies, and Mr. Hannon rides a motorcycle.
You should definitely take AP Psychology because Mr. Hannon's one of my favorite teachers. He tells really great stories and he's always whistling. He's just a really happy man.
He's just awesome.
Yeah, it's a great course. And you get
AP Psych.
AP Gov is pretty awesome because Mr. Melbauer teaches it. Mr. Melbauer is he's really sarcastic and he's really funny. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been period 1 the past 2 years. So if it's period 1 again, it's an awesome way of starting the day because you don't have to do anything. You just listen to him talk.
Well, you learn about how the government works, the Constitution and all that, how it's been applied, and you learn about politics. You get to sort of form and alter your own views and actually be educated on it, unlike the majority of the people.
The workload, there's not much.
It's not a very heavy workload.
You just do current events every Friday.
Do current events. You do have tests, but
the tests are hard, but that's about it.
But if you do your current events, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
I like Mr. Milbauer because he's probably the smartest and funniest teacher in the school. You will learn a lot from him. You'll be made fun of a lot by him, but overall it'll be a very good experience.
I like AP Gov because I want to be the first woman president, and that class is going to help me be the first woman president. You get to learn all about the different branches of the government and all the power they have, and all the power you can have if you want to be in government. Vote for me.
Go.
I know AP Economics sounds scary, but Mr. Gardner makes it a lot of fun. You don't just learn about money, but you learn about everything, government, and it's pretty cool to know stuff that the average person doesn't know. And
No notes. Notes are all optional. You don't have to get any notes.
4 words, short run aggregate supply.
I like this class because you get to watch like interesting movies like Crash, which is really intense, and it's really fun.
Ms. Genetti's a really chill teacher, and her class is always interesting, and there's always something to do, and we're always having really awesome discussions.
I like it because we watch really good movies and we learn about really interesting things. And it's a easygoing class.
Class like opens your mind to like all different types of groups of people and like lets you like see different events that happen that like you didn't know about.
PPI stands for Power, Prejudice, and Intolerance.
We talk about like gangs and all the angry people in the world and why I should take PPI because it's really fun and Miss Genetti's the best teacher ever.
It's a really interesting class and you learn a lot of new things.
Yeah, you learn a lot of interesting things and
it's very like eye-opening and like you'll open up your mind to like a lot of new groups of people.
You won't regret it.
Not at all. Miss Genetti's the best.
Yay.
I love the class because Hagen's my favorite teacher in the entire school and we learn a lot of interesting things and we're going to visit the county jail, so that should be interesting.
Hagen is an amazing teacher. He's so funny and he's so much fun and his class is always really interesting. Gives us good information and he's always fun to be around and he's just a really good teacher.
And you also learn about committing crimes and covering them up.
It's important to know, like, the law and why not to break it. It's an essential class that everyone should take.
You should take this class next year because it's so interesting and you learn so many new things and Hagen's really great. Like, you'll really enjoy the class.
He's a really funny teacher and he has a way of making everything interesting. And you get to learn about different crimes and like how they have to do with how life revolves around us today. And you know, you get to go to a jail, so yeah, it's always cool.
You also learn what to do if you're ever in a car crash.
Oh no, I hit you! You know what to do?
Yes!